Hey everyone, welcome to another top 10. Now you're probably thinking, hey, what the hell is this? This is already a list you've done. Well, yes, that's true. This is a list of top 10 games I hate, but it's a revised edition because after the last one I did, I talked to a few people and I played a few games again, and I played a few new games, and basically it was enough information that I got that prompted me to make another top 10 of games I hate. And so it'll probably be a lot shorter than the first one. Maybe depends on how much of a rant I go on, but I moved some stuff around. I gave some new thoughts, and after I being pissed off at some games, like that other game wasn't that bad. So I will be making some comparisons to the other list and its order. But let's get started. So at number 10, it is City of Remnants. Now the last top 10 was Merchants and Marauders. If you can see, I actually bought that again. And it didn't make sense to me to have it on the list again because I believe I explained that I played it again with the house rule and I had a lot of fun. So top 10 games I hate, and I'm saying how I had a lot of fun, that doesn't make sense. So I actually took it off the list completely. And I actually ended up getting it again. So City of Remnants, my reasoning stand, and it's at number 10 because in all reality it's not a terrible game. It was just my only explanation was that it was very, very boring. But there was one thing in the game that was very exciting, and it was when the robot police would basically jump in and kick down your door and just be like, get on the fucking ground, and then you're like, oh my god, my black, wow, what the hell is it called? My black market. No, you're shutting me down. Oh, wait a minute, but I have money, I can pay you off. Or I can be like, this is like the top gang, right? And I can just kill you. So that was very exciting because it was on a grid. The board's a grid. And they could show up when you're drawing and you're like, son of a bitch, okay. So you look at the card and it's like E5 and you're like, oh my god, that's one of mine. And oh, it's a 2 or something. Or damn it, it's an 11. So that was always very exciting. And I guess that game is okay if you're playing with certain people. If you're playing with people who are very, as Rado would put it, Care Bear players who just want to kind of do their own thing, it is very boring. And the fact that my gaming group kind of does that at times, depending on the game, it just wasn't for us. So that's why it's at number 10. I should also restate that 10 to 6 are games that I would play again. I don't own them anymore. In fact, none of these games I own anymore. But the 10 to 6 of the top 5, or the bottom 5, whatever, are games I would play again. I just won't ever buy. And then the other 5 to 1 are games I absolutely despise and will never play again. Unless I'm very drunk or someone pays me. So, on to number 9. Number 9 is Shadows over Camelot, or Shadows of Camelot. I think it's over Camelot. And the only good thing about this game that I can think of is its theme. I very much like the theme. I very much like the Monty Python quotes. That definitely makes it... I like it. But it is still and I mentioned this last time, Dice Tower, they praise this game as like the best trader mechanic game ever, and I don't know why. I guess my friend made a good example of how I don't think having everyone do a bad thing before they can do a good thing is like an amazing, like, unique way, but he was like, well, that's a good way of hiding who's the traitor, because someone in any other trader mechanic game, Dead of Winter, Battlestar Galactica, not Betrayals, that doesn't really count, but there are other games where if you're doing a bad thing, it's almost obvious that you're the traitor. Now, Dead of Winter kind of hides it more with the secret objectives. You're like, oh, I have to hoard food, and if your hand gets revealed, you're like, I'm not the traitor. And so they do a better job of it, but in Shadows over Camelot, everyone does a bad thing, so if you're the traitor, then, I mean, you're doing a bad thing as well as the people who aren't. And that's a fair point. That's a very good argument. Even so, you are playing poker, or you are playing Texas Hold'em. Like, it's so unthematic in the sense of how you play the game. You're like, oh my god, the Saxons are coming. I got a straight. I win, I beat them. Or I'm fighting the dragon. I got 3 6s and 2 2s. I got more than him. I win. It's so dumb. Now, going after the Holy Grail is just kind of monotonous because you're like, I'm going to play a Grail card. Oh, I drew Despair. So it's just this tug of war back and forth. And it's just dumb. And then the expansion, Merlin's Company, is like, oh, that'll be fun. Adds travel cards. Draw them. Yeah, nothing happened. Or Merlin is just kind of there and he gives you white cards. And the worst part is, if you reveal the traitor, if you're like, I think it's you and it's them, I think you believe you get some white swords, which the more white swords you have, like the majority of white swords, the heroes win. But it's like, it's not like you can ever stop the traitor from doing anything. He's just like, oh, now I'm off the board and I get to take cards from your hand or play black cards. And it's like, what are you doing? You're not even, you're doing what you were doing before, except now you can take cards from us. So, like I said, number 9. But, I mean, still, not that great of a game. Number 8 is Seasons. Seasons was on the list as well, as was Shadow over Camelot. But, and granted, I played Seasons as a 2-player game. I didn't feel like there should be more. Maybe if that's why, if someone's like, oh, you idiot, you dumb piece of shit, you need to play it with 4 or 18 people, fine. Get 18 people and I will play the game. Get 2 other people or 3 other people and I will play the game again. But as with 2 people, it was just dumb. Like the fact where you are drafting your cards and then you have to set up 3. I think you get 9 cards. You set up 3 for one age, 3 or for the years. 3 for the first year, 3 for the second, 3 for the third. There was no point. There was no point in doing that because at no point was I like, oh, I wish I had that card. Dang it, I don't. No, in the points, it was just so drastically embarrassing where I was like, yeah, I got 300 points and you got 6? Okay. Or I didn't like the cards, I didn't like the abilities, the dice were ginormous, like, they were like, I couldn't even fit them in my butt. Like, wow, yeah. And so, you were just throwing these huge boulders of dice, I don't know why they were so huge, and 1 year took a second. If you basically didn't take one of the dice that had the pips at the bottom, you're just like, oh, okay, well, it was winter, and I had a lot of winter cards that could be used in winter. Oh, nope, it's now August. Wow, it's now autumn. Wow, that took a turn. So it just went too fast, and maybe that's the appeal, is that it's a very short game. I didn't like it, and once again, to play with 2 people, so if someone's like, you're an idiot, you need to play with more, I did that, and I did that with another game that's on this list. So, and we're getting there. And number 7, that's funny how that actually worked, is 7 Wonders Duel. I adore 7 Wonders. I adore all of its expanded cities, leaders, and Babel expansion. They are all fantastic. 7 Wonders is a phenomenal game. Even 2 players, the variant of where at one point you control the other wonder, and then you pass it on, the other player controls the wonder, even that works fantastically. So, with 7 Wonders Duel, you would think I would like it as a 2-player game, because it is just my girlfriend and I, and sometimes it's hard to get people. But whenever we played it twice. All she did, and once again, it's a very valid strategy. All she did was, because the cards are laid out a certain way, you can see some, and then it's like a tower, like a pyramid, so if you remove 2 cards that are covering up the face-down ones, they get flipped. And so, you can see everything your opponent is doing, and so if I'm trying to get science or faith, all she has to do is look at the cards that I need, and, oh, nope, turning into gold, and try and win with gold, and it's like, okay, that's fine that you're getting the gold for the points, but I'm not even getting to play. It's like, oh, it's a strategy. No, that's stupid. That's stupid because you're not even playing the damn game. So, it's fine if you're both going after a certain thing. If you're like, I'm gonna try to go first. But even then, it's like, but fat nasty penis, you can totally do that. That's how you stop them from getting their shit. But you're not even gaining anything out of that. You're not even getting stuff for you. All you're doing is getting some gold. I think it's like 1 gold. So it's not even worth it at that point. to take something from someone else, except only to hurt them and only to stop them from getting something, then burn the damn game. Go into the fucking other room and punch each other in the face. Oh, better yet, actually no, have her or the person you're playing with just keep punching you in the face, because that's pretty much what they're doing in that game. Anyway, so the second time we played, she didn't do that. She actually played the game, and then I went through military, and she went through this entire like strategy of trying to get signed, trying to get faith and all that, and I beat her by military just by going, oh, no, let me keep getting it. Oh, I got the, okay. Oh, yep, okay. Yep, I made it by the end of the track, and I beat you. And that thematically makes sense. In all civilization building games where there's military, it definitely makes sense that, oh, you guys are really smart. I killed you all, so you're no longer smart. Like, the higher military always wins, and that's always been a problem for me. That's why I like Seven Wonders so much, is yeah, military is going to help you a lot, you'll get a lot of points, and it barely hurts the others, but that's not a guaranteed victory. In Sid Meier's Civilization, military, in the board game anyway, military is almost going to get you the win. And it's just, it was dumb. She was very upset, and I don't blame her, because I didn't even really do anything. I just got military cards in advance, and you're like, but Seth, she could totally get the cards before, but it's like, not if you're both wanting to play a certain way, and it's just, I didn't like it. I can keep going on and on, but I'm not. And at number 6, this is a new one, I think, because I believe I played it afterwards, and I'm just going to say, it's Elder Sign. And I love Eldritch Horror, I love Arkham Horror, I love the whole Cthulhu mythos universe, H.P. Lovecraft, I love it all. And you would think I would love Elder Sign, but the biggest problem for me is, one, it's a very pasted-on theme. They basically took H.P. Lovecraft, put it on some cards, and they're like, oh, you roll dice and have to get symbols. And that really could have been anything, which is, that's fine. I mean, I've played some pasted-on themes, and I can kind of get past that. But with something that is so luck-heavy, and I already have a love-hate relationship with dice, which is weird. I do love Ameritrash games. Starting to delve a little bit more into Euros to kind of, broaden my, knowledge. I still love Ameritrash games, and I love luck, and I love randomness, but not if that's the entire game. And that's exactly what that is. You roll your dice, and you hope you get the symbols to go on to place on the cards, and you kind of read the cards with some flavor text, and it's just it was just very, very monotonous, very tedious. It was just so dumb, and the abilities you got, like, you're like, oh, I'm gonna play the spell. All it did was give you like a red die, or and you could hold it later and then use it, and it was just so blah that we played it, and it's very short, and we won. I think we played it 3 times, and we won each time. There was one time, though, where it was me and my girlfriend, me and Kat, and she did fucking nothing that entire game. It was all me, just because I happened to get the best rolls. There was a time where she was sitting there, she's like, well, do you even want me to play? And I was like, you can. But, I mean, she was doing nothing. I was getting all the rolls. I was getting all the Elder Signs to beat the monster. Dear God. Very boring game. It's a dice game, I'm assuming, and I'm finding out that no, not for me. And so I traded it, and I didn't like it. And so 10 to 6 were games I dislike. 5 to 1 are games I hate. Now let's get on into the games I hate, shall we? I don't need to turn the page. It is number 5, Camelot. Camelot was on the list. I do not remember what number it was, but Camelot is one of those games where it's highly praised. Shut Up and Sit Down, adore it. Dice Tower adores it. I'm pretty sure Rado would probably be the only one who probably doesn't like it if he's ever played it. I guess the only thing I can say about it that's good is the theme. The Egyptian theme is really cool. And it's very weird how I don't like this game, because the tiles are all there. Like, the red tiles are for attack, blue are for defense, white is for faith and other bonuses, whatever. And you can play a different style each time. And you think that'd be right up my alley, but for some reason it wasn't, and I think it was because all of the tiles, every single one of the tiles was strictly for combat. It was a very just only combat. I'm going to somehow teleport across the entire way to attack you, and that's it. And we'll play, and the combat was so dumb. You had a hand of cards that gave you an attack, a defense, and blood or whatever to see if you killed anyone. And you had a hand of like 4 or 5, and you had to discard a card before you could play one, and that's a very, very, very dumb rule to me. And I guess you get those little bonus cards, the small ones that if you have them, you could slide them under. Like you can slide them under your card. And the way you set down the damn cards, someone you're like, there's a card under that. I totally know. And I mean, maybe get better at sleight of hand, but it's like it's so stupid. And you flip it, it's like, oh my god, I surprised you. And they're like, no, you didn't. Oh, you still won. Okay, you killed my people. And all right, you got a point. And that's fantastic. And that's all it was. And you might be thinking, but Seth, I've seen your Blood Rage videos, which there are 2. Go check them out. And you adore that game. And you adore. Oh, I didn't even kill it. And you adore that game. That's all combat. Yes, it is. And fine. But there are different. Now I feel like I'm being hypocritical here. But in Blood Rage, it is way smoother, and you don't have to win to. You don't even have to do good at combat to win the game. That's the brilliant thing about it. There are multiple ways to win Blood Rage, whereas in Camelot, the only way to win is by having the best army or getting the best tiles, and that's the other thing about the tiles. If you are an experienced player, this game is very unforgiving to new players. I know what combinations are going to work best. I know what I need to get, because the tiles are all the same. They're all laid out for everyone. I know what I need to grab to be able to win. In Blood Rage, it is card drafting, and you get different cards every single time, and you get different strategies, so you're like, oh, okay, well, I didn't get the Fire Giant like I wanted, so crap, well, how can I beat the Fire Giant that someone else got, if anyone got it? So Camelot and Blood Rage, they're not the same, and then I've also played Cyclades, not on this list because I've heard it's better with the Titan expansion, and I haven't used I have the Titan expansion, but I haven't played it, so I can't put that on this list yet. And then even if I hate it, I'm not going to make another one of these lists. But that's Camelot. I mean, disagree with me all you want. You can be like, you're a hypocrite for liking Blood Rage, but not Camelot. I think they're different. I also rated these games, I should have mentioned this before, I also rated these games at how pissed off I got while playing them, especially whenever I was like, which should go where between these two, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I got ulcers from so much anger from that game, so it definitely, that's how I also rated this. And going on to number 4 is Runebound 3rd Edition. If you've watched my run-through, you definitely know how I feel about it, but for those of you who don't, or if you watched Rodder's run-through, his final thoughts, I was there for that as well. But Runebound 3rd Edition is a very gateway bullshit game of a tired edition of the second one. So I very much liked the second one. I thought there was player interaction to where it's like, oh, you're doing well, I should actually now go out of my way to hunt you down and take your shit instead of just yeah. It was a fantasy game that was very solitaire. No one gave a shit what everyone else was doing. No one gave a shit what the quests were that everyone else was going on because it didn't affect them in any way. So not only are you just like this hero who can't do anything with the other heroes, and not only is it a semi-co-op, but not even that, where you all have to work together or to defeat the bad person, or you all lose. But only one person gets to win. So if you go fight him and you lose, you're out of the game, and it's like, okay, I just sit here and wait for someone else to win, because I obviously didn't do it. It's garbage. And I'm not actually going to speak so much on this one, because I have 2 versions out there of my opinion, and it's like those political discussions, you just get tired of having them. Trump and Hillary suck dick. So just go watch Rodder's final thoughts, or go watch my run-through of the game, and you'll definitely get a very accurate representation of my feelings. I will say this, though. I played my run-through with 2 people, because I played it with 4 before, but I didn't record it, and there's no goddamn difference. Because you don't give a shit what everyone else is doing, then 2 people are perfectly fine because, I mean, at least that's only 1 person I have to sit there and wait on than 3. And now speaking of 3, number 3, it's very weird because I believe this was number 2 or number 1, I can't remember. And I know, and I bumped it up a little bit. I still very much dislike it, but a person did comment on the last top 10 and kind of explained it a little bit more. Shadowrun Crossfire is number 3. I absolutely... I hate this game. Even with his explanation, I understand it more. Shadowrun, I guess, was a comic book series or some graphic novel series or some series that if you understand the world and if you've read those, then you probably like the game a lot more because you're like, oh my god, I totally know what that creature is or what that person is, and yeah, no, they suck, and no wonder we lose. Here's the thing. I was very upset with this game, and it is very stupid. And the reason is because if I can set out the damn board, or not really board, but set out the cards, and first of all, I don't even like deck building, but we'll get to that. If I can set out the cards and get ready to play and stare at it and lose without even playing the game, I already hate it. Because first of all, I'm not the best loser. I wouldn't say I'm a sore loser, but I don't like losing. And by taking the time to set up the game and sitting there and being like, we lost. And I was playing with 2 other people, my girlfriend and my friend Luke, they've both been in many of my run-throughs. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, I can't stop you from beating them. They're going to deal that damage. I can't say, we cannot help each other enough. We lost already. That is atrocious. That is garbage. And even Rado loves this game. And I talked to him about it, and I was like, how? How can you like this game? And I was like I was trying to go after these cards to heal me, and he's like, well, that's where you messed up. You don't go after the cards that heal, you go after the cards that dish out damage, which I guess is one way of looking at it. But no, you get cards to heal you, and it makes it, and the game's really dumb. If you lose your health, the game's not over. You go into this runaway mode, and just to prolong the inevitable loss that's going to happen anyway. And dear God, I just didn't like it. There was one thing about this game that I like, and that is the fact when you buy a card, first of all, it takes forever to level your stupid character up. You have to play 50 games to get 2 experience points, which you can spend on some mediocre ability that's permanent. Oh, it's permanent. You place a sticker and you feel like you're young again, and brings back nostalgia of. It's so dumb. But when you get the money to buy a card, that card goes in your hand. And that is very cool because most deck builders, from what I understand, they go in your discard pile, and then you shuffle your discard pile when your cards are all done, and you hope you get the card in the time you need it. This time you're like, I need that right now. I'm going to buy it. It's right here. I can use it. That was actually really, really brilliant. I did like that. And there was another deck builder I just played that I believe also did that. And God, man, I cannot remember what it was. Give me a second. I'll probably... Yep, nope, I have no idea. I can't remember, but I believe there was a deck... Man, hold on. It may have been Pathfinder, and the card game, obviously, and I believe that's what it was. But anyway, so I don't like deck builders. They're very... I keep using that word. It's a chore, is the best way I can use it. Building a deck, either during the game or before the game, I find very, very boring. It's a headache for me, and it's really weird because strategy games are usually my forte, but I don't believe it is a strategy, and people who can do it very well, I mean, praise be to you, but I don't like it. I don't like sitting there with thousands of cards in front of me and trying to come up with a whole bunch of combinations that will only work if I happen to get the stupid series, but then people can do that, and they're like, oh, but that'll help me get that, and I don't like doing that. So Shadowrun was probably a bad idea from the very beginning. And yeah, I just very much didn't like that game. Now, speaking of deck builders, not really deck builder game, but one you build beforehand, number 2 is Magic the Gathering. I believe this is actually now, this is way lower on my list because not once have I played Magic the Gathering, maybe once, where I enjoyed myself. When I was sat there and I was like, yep, no, I'm enjoying this. Even when I'm winning, I'm pissed off at this game. And god damn, the the art is so beautiful. I'm just gonna say that first of all, because that's pretty much the only thing I could think of that is good about this game. But oh my god, I'm so pissed off when I'm playing this game. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wish I could summon something, but I got no fucking mana. Or I wish I could summon something because I have all this fucking mana, and you barely get the balance that you need. Even whenever you have a 60 game, it's like, oh, you should only have like 10 or 15 mana. I don't remember what the ratio is, but. Oh my god. And then there's people who do split decks where they have different elements. They're like, oh yeah, mountain water. Yeah. Or mountain ocean, whatever it is. And I'm like, how? How do you have the mana enough to summon anything? Every time I try doing that, I'm like, okay, well I can summon. Oh, you killed it? Okay, cool. And here's the biggest thing. I said this last time. The stack rule is complete bullshit. So, the fact that if I cast an instant and then they cast an instant, it's like, theirs gets to go before me, and I understand the cancel one. Like if they're playing an instant to cancel something, that makes sense. But sometimes it's not even that. It's like some other instant where theirs will go before me. So it's like no, that's not how that works. I played mine before you. It's my turn. So like it should be counters. Counters should be the only thing that you should play in reaction to an instant. But if you're playing with multiple people, which normally you don't do, but it's like, oh, I'm going to play my instant to deal some damage. Oh, no, I'm going to play this. Oh, and I'm going to play this. And now I get to go last, even though I played it first. It's fucking retarded. So, not going to talk a whole lot about Magic, even though it's number 2, and you may want more, because I have really nothing good to say about this game, and it's already a chore to build the damn deck, and I'm not good at it, and I played with a friend who was really good at it, so I was like, I think I'll get back into it. Yeah, I think I've calmed down enough since high school that I could probably mellow it out, and the entire time I'm like, dude, you should have been aboard, man, I hate you so much. And so I don't play it anymore. And now, number 1, and here's the reason, this game right here is the whole reason pretty much why I'm redoing this list. And oh my god, you thought I hated Magic? I hate this game so much. I hate this game so much that I was going to give the damn thing away. I was going to be like, you know what, if someone doesn't take this from me for free, I'm going to burn this game after I shit all over it. And that is number 1, Summoner Wars. Ooh! Ooh, okay, strictly 2-player game, and I'm like, you move around the board a little bit. I think it'll be fine. And after all, Dice Tower, they love the game. Like Tom, fantastic guy. Like I have in no way am I disrespecting you, but that game is gutter shit. Oh my god, like I don't even know where to begin. First of all, movement is so dumb. This game is so dumb. It's just, you can only summon around the wall you have, and if you don't have a wall, you can't summon anything for some reason. And I think my game came with like some defect because the dwarves, the crystal dwarves, whatever they were, I had 2 summoners in my deck, and so I was like, wait, so how do you win? Oh, you kill their summoner? But I have 2, so is this like a unique thing about this deck? Because like the Master set came with like 6 factions, I believe. Yeah, because I played the game 3 times, I wanted to try all the factions. And I spent probably an hour doing research, trying to figure it out, until I came to the conclusion that, wow, I'm retarded, because the only way to win this game is to kill their summoner. So why in the hell would I be able to summon another summoner if it doesn't have a summoning cost? So maybe that's my fault. And so I tried every single faction, and there was only one that I actually liked, and it was the Swamp Orcs, because they got their own secret deck of Vine Walls that only had like 3 health or something. But they lived off of that. So the cat who I played this with got some faction that had some badass roll 3 fucking dice, hit on a 3, whatever, because you only miss on like a 1 or a 2, which I only happen to roll, by the way. So basically I sit there with this whole strategy of this game, and I'm like, oh look, I didn't hit you, oh look, I didn't hit you, oh look, I didn't hit you. So that's cool. I'm gonna throw that away before I keep annoying you guys with that clicking. And so whenever she got that dragon that was easily going to destroy me, I summoned a shit ton of vine walls around me, and then I moved away because my people can move through the vine walls without getting stuck, or taken damage. So I moved even further away and summoned more Vine Walls. So my whole side was Vine Walls, and that part was cool. Like, she couldn't get to me before I was able to get to her, because then you can summon, I believe, off of the Vine Walls. And so I just moved around and was able to do that while trapping her people. And I can push them, and I was able to push them into the Vine Walls, and that was the only faction I liked. The rest of them, man, I don't know how we made it through 2 or 3 games, because we were very, very facetious in rolling. We're just like, oh yay, I rolled a 1, I missed, yay, woo, this game's so much fun. And we were just so pissed off. Remember how I said I rated these games based on how mad I was? Magic has gotten me really mad. Summoner Wars, I was throwing shit. If I wasn't going to give the game away, I would have ripped those cards in half, because it was so dumb. And it's like, but Seth, that's the strategy. That's the blow me, because that game I hated. And half the time, because she didn't do shit. I mean, she summoned people and she did fine, but I was like, man, like, moving over into the magic piles was fine, because that was a different way to summon your people, was with already discarded cards, apparently. And then they go in the discard pile. Once you run out of your summoner pile, you can't summon anything for some reason, because apparently your guy gets real fucking weak, because you're some great summoner. So I was always out of my deck, and I'm just sitting there like, wish I can summon some, I guess I'll just move over. You killed him, alright, that's cool, I guess that's sad, because I have no cards to summon. Worst game I have ever played. I thought I was being very generous when I gave it a 2 on BGG, because I can't even bring myself to rate a game a 1. And if I do rate a game a 1, it's because I don't even know. Like, I murdered someone because it was so bad. Like, I just found someone off the sidewalk and just beat them to death with the game. And so, before I have an aneurysm, those are my top 10 games I hate, and the revised top 10 list. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I am more than welcome to have a friendly debate with you about these games. If you thought I played these games wrong and want to give me some insight, I'm always more than happy to listen and have a coherent and ethical discussion. Ethical, wow. And let me know what your top 10 games that you hate are, or what some of them are. If you're like, wow, I really hated this game, and don't ever try it, because if you hated those, you'll definitely hate this. Just let me know in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, and subscribe, share, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.